Hey folks, this is Jadius, and nope, no Bayes this week. Bayes, in fact, on vacation for a week, coming back next Wednesday or Thursday, so we'll get back to doing a dual cast for you guys then, but for now you'll have to just put up with me and my sweet, sexy voice, just Jadius for a week for you guys here at the Wood League, and I was going to forego the question of the game this week while Bayes was gone, but I got a great question from our friend Paul, who of course submitted the question asking me what my name would be if I were a girl, so might as well, check out his question in lieu of Bayes being here. Paul submitting a question, and it goes a little something like this. Infested Kerrigan has requested you rub lotion on her scaly back. Which brand of lotion do you use? Paul, I thought, hard on this. I dug deep down, and I came up with Zergens Lotion because, Zerg kind of sounds like Zerg. It's a weird question. It's an even weirder answer, and I hope you guys don't judge me about it, but there you go, Zergens Lotion on Kerrigan's back, and hell, let's get to this game. This is getting a little weird. JD is with you here at the Wood League. I'm in the Wood League, and so are you, and we got two great Korean players right here. This is Maka in the red, Korean lettering for the name, in case you didn't know, Maka, and against Genius, the blue Protoss, Terran versus Protoss here. And nothing too out of the ordinary from these two players, fairly normal gas and unit producing building production here for the two Terran and Protoss. Looks like the Terran gonna go out and do a little bit of scouting before the Protoss. And as he makes his way over to the Protoss base, let me say that we have a few exciting games, or hopefully exciting games for you in the next few days, while I am doing the lone casting duties, as well as an announcement hopefully soon in the next few days for the Wood League. Should be exciting. And of course the Wood League Roundup number 2 should be finished sometime this weekend, or Monday or Tuesday, depending on how many good video clips we've got. But right now, looks like the Terran, Maka doing some quick scouting on the Protoss. Nothing too out of the ordinary. A cybernetics core, and a Zealot being rushed out here for Genius, hoping to alleviate this SCV pressure, as it were. Probe now heading down to the Terran base to reciprocate. A little bit of the scouting there for both players. Nothing too strange going on here. No proxies, no funny business as far as the Protoss is concerned. Reactor going up on the barracks, as opposed to the pretty standard, I think, tech lab first process for the Terrans, favoring a lot of Reaper harassment and Marauder play against Protoss, but Maka favoring the reactor, which is something I used to like doing in the beta. Don't do it as much anymore, but usually go with the tech lab. Warp core being warp research for the gateway being researched right now, and a robotics facility going up for the Protoss. And just kind of waiting for this game to really take off, both establishing themselves at the Xel'Naga watchtowers, making sure that nothing too strange is happening. I think Maka now a little bit concerned about proxies, going to take his Marine out here and see what's what outside of his base. Meanwhile, another barracks going up for Maka, and a second command center, so going for a fast expand, pretty fast expand for a Terran. No factory yet. No factory play yet for Maka, looking like he's going to be content with his barracks units for the time being. And like I said, robotics facility being pretty quickly built by Genius here, going for a quick observer, going to get as much scouting as he can do before maybe missile turrets come out for the Terran. Going to see what's what, and he's probably going to see this fast expansion, maybe going to think that he can take his advantage here, and there is a factory for the Terran. So pretty standard stuff, apart from the robotics facility going on right here for these two players, Korean players, Maka and Genius. Game from the Korean servers, featured as Team Liquid's replay of the week. And the observer casually strolling over to the Terran base. Seems like the second orbital command being made by Maka right now. Maybe not ready to expand quite yet. Probably doesn't think he has enough units to properly defend it. Going to use his double muling technique, as I said. Very popular technique these days for the Terran. While you're preparing your defenses for your expansion, using the second mule to get your economy really ramped up. Income definitely skewed towards the Terran right now with the muling. As far as the muling is concerned, no missile turrets, no engineering bay as far as I can see for the Terran, so he's not really going to know that this observer is out here watching his every move. Now doing a little switch, maybe not a switch, but the starport going out there with a tech lab. Maybe he's thinking about Ravens, maybe he's thinking about a Banshee harass. Meanwhile, the Protoss getting his expansion up actually quicker than the Terran, which is surprising, having seen the quick second command center coming up for the Terran. So it's a little surprising that Genius was able to get his expansion up faster than the Terran. Big base switch there for the probes. Going to get both these bases up and running real quick. Looks like a pretty standard unit mix for both these players. Like to see some mech come out here for the Terran. Seems like he's going to try to press his advantage, try to exert a little bit of control on this natural expansion with some more bunkers. Meanwhile, moving out here with his troops, this lone scouting marine going to see these two stalkers, and the marauders are probably going to take a frontal position on this force here for the Terran. Stalkers, meanwhile, content to retreat back to the natural expansion of the blue Protoss Genius. Robotics Bay out. Colossi coming out, still no extended thermal lance upgrade for the Colossus, should happen any minute now. Very, very, very important upgrade for the Colossus if you're planning to use them for an extended period of time in the game. And there it is, a Raven was on the Terran's mind, a Raven being produced, or actually is produced, and a second one on the way for the Terran. He's going to try to see how much harassment he can accomplish here with his M&Ms, but going to be pushed back by this large Protoss force, which, if it catches up to him, going to be pretty devastating with the Colossi in the back. He's going to stim pack, get that speed upgrade. They're going to hoof it out of there, and the Terran will suffer minimal losses. Pretty much knows what the Genius is up to here. There's the extended thermal lance being researched right now for the Protoss ground weapons. Protoss ground weapons as well. Going to try to bulk up his zealots, and looks like he's going to try to push out on the nearby gold mineral expansion. Right now, curious to see what Maka has got planned for these two Ravens. I don't know if he is using it as a defensive weapon against these stalkers, maybe use point defense drones, or just maybe some turret harass, but it looks like the Protoss feeling bold enough to maybe push out to the Zelnaga Watchtower. No, he is just checking that there is no immediate threat to his gold mineral expansion. And let's see if he feels confident enough. Yet probe heading down there. Looks like the Nexus will begin to be built. Units now, army composition for both these players. A little in the favor of the Protoss, slightly on gas value, but pretty close at this point. Vikings coming out, sensing the Colossus threat. Perfect strategy here by Maka the Terran. Every Terran knows that the Vikings is a Colossi's worst enemy, and a Protoss does not want to see those come out in number if they've invested heavily on Colossi. Tech. Right now, Maka using his factory as more of a scout than anything. No strong mech push here for the Terran today, or at least for now. Looks like the starport units are going to make up the main area of his advanced tier defenses. Both these players kind of minding their time right now. I wouldn't say turtling, but both kind of nervous and apprehensive to test the other one, the Terran. With his early M&M push, probably a little bit late, in all honesty, to really accomplish anything. You could see that it was perfectly timed with Genius getting out his Colossus. Continuing to push out Colossi here is Genius. Wouldn't mind seeing him maybe anticipate that Vikings going to come out on the board. I mean, he knows that the Terran saw the Colossus. He knows that the Terran must be preparing for it, and that is exactly what he's doing with a lot of Vikings coming out on the board. So a few Phoenixes here or there couldn't hurt the Protoss. I'd like to see him maybe transition to that, but no. For the time being, pushing out the Colossus in large numbers. And looks like we might have our first major clash of the game. A scan going down there for the Terran, seeing where the Protoss is more or less positioning himself. Good amount of Vikings and Ravens here are going to do some serious damage. And they're the point defense drones that I mentioned earlier, using those to great effect, right clumped up in the middle. The Vikings hoping that they can take down the Colossi, but Protoss being very, very, very aggressive there, pushing back the large force of M&Ms from the Terran. Vikings probably going to take down 2 of them. Yes, they will. Looks like the 3rd one might survive if he can get further enough back. No, he is going to go down to the Viking pressure. But I think at this point the Protoss probably has enough forces to deal with this. The Colossi strategy probably going to be over. At least in my opinion, it should be over for the Protoss. There's his last one that he's built, and he is going to build another one. So he's going to stick with that. He probably feels like if he can mix in something else to take care of those Vikings, then the Colossi will still hold tremendous value for him. And I tend to agree if the right units come out to deal with the Vikings. If not, it would be a bit of a misstep, in my opinion, for Genius to assume that the Stalkers would be enough to handle it. The Vikings firing 2 rockets simultaneously with their tremendous range going to be really hard to deal with without flyers coming out. High Templar right now looks like that's how Genius plans to transition. Blink and Psystorm's being researched right now, so he feels as though with the Stalker's maneuverability, given their blink ability, and with Psystorm, he will be able to take care of the Viking threat. Looks like Maka right now getting his 2nd expansion. Genius, meanwhile, totally saturating this gold mineral expansion, getting both gases up, trying to get as much of his mining's worth out of this gold mineral expansion. The Terran knows he has it now. Some good scouting being done. There goes the scan. Looks like this front position Colossi is going to go down. Don't know if the Storms are ready right now. Storm not finished researching. I don't even know if the High Templar would have enough energy to do it. Yes, they will. The Storms are finished researching now, so we should see a Storm pretty soon, but not before Maka is able to take down the gold mineral expansion.